Good evening, and welcome to Global News Inside Edition. I'm your host, Kristen Franz, and today I'll be giving you an inside look on what it's like to have the coronavirus in South Korea. Next, we'll be talking to our correspondent from the Netherlands about what one woman thinks on working from home. And finally, I'll be giving you an updated look on everything new with the latest TikTok trends. The coronavirus has affected everyone, whether you know someone with the virus or you lost your job due to the lockdowns. But what if you had the virus yourself? I spoke with 20-year-old Colin Kim, who got the virus while studying abroad in London. Hi Colin, can you tell me how you first knew that you got the virus?
Well, now I know, looking back, when I know that I first had it was when I was in London. I had like one of the worst fevers I've ever had. It was like I didn't take my temperature, but like I felt so hot, and at the same time I was shivering and sweating so much. And looking back, that's definitely like the the worst it's gotten.
After you got back to South Korea, how quickly did you get your test results and get admitted into the hospital?
Like I said, when I got literally when I landed in the airport, the first thing I got was tested. I didn't even go through immigration or get my bags yet. I got tested first. So I went home with my parents, and then like 24 hours later, they called my mom. They're like, "Oh yeah, he tested positive. We're gonna bring an ambulance to take him to this hospital in Korea in 2 hours. Pack as if you're staying for like almost a month." I was like, "Oh my God, what?" I was freaking out because they said to pack for a month, and that was just to be safe. But at the same time, now I'm at day 24. That's pretty realistic. It's almost a month.
Wow, I'm sure that is hard for you. What have you been doing to keep busy?
Some big one big thing is my schoolwork, and like whenever I tell people that I still have homework and assignments to do, they're like, "You're crazy." I would just tell my teachers that I have corona, like give me an extension. And I definitely could do that 100%, but it's also part of what's keeping me sane because it actually like makes me feel like I have stuff to like I'm have a purpose in life. I have a reason to wake up and like actually get things done during the day. It's not like I'm just sitting here like a vegetable watching Netflix nonstop.
And how are you doing in your recovery?
By the test definition, I'm in the best condition out of all my roommates because I'm the only one who's been testing negative at all. Because like I said, I tested negative 3 times already, but then the first 2 times I tested positive the next day after when they tested me, and now we're waiting on another negative result tomorrow or a positive result tomorrow. We'll see. I'm supposed to wear a mask all the time. Like I'm not supposed to ever take it off. And sometimes if they see that I'm not wearing my mask for like longer than probably like an hour or so, there's an intercom in this bar, and they'll say over the intercom, they'll be like, "Can you put your mask on, please? Like, we want you to be safe."
What's been the hardest part for you throughout this whole process of recovery?
And honestly, I think the biggest thing for me was honestly not the physical symptoms, because like I said, I had very mild physical symptoms, fever that lasted 24 hours, and other than that, a mild cough. It's really the mental aspect about it, like of feeling alone, feeling isolated, feeling like I can't do anything for myself, not being able to see my family, and only seeing people through a screen. That was honestly the toughest part for me.
Well, I hope your test results come back negative and you get to go see your family soon. Thank you so much for talking with us today, Colin. Up next, we have our correspondent, Rebecca, reporting from the Netherlands, who will give us an update on the job situation over there. Rebecca?
Thank you, Kristen. I'm still in the Netherlands. I'm working from home as much as possible, and that is exactly the topic I want to talk to you about today. My perspective is not that interesting, but how is it for employees and for employers? How do they approach their team? How do people work from home? I spoke to Femke Bakker, who works at one of the biggest construction companies in the Netherlands, and she explains us how working from home has been for her. Femke was asked to work from home longer than 5 weeks ago. This is a week earlier than all the other employees who started working from home. Femke explains how the first corona case in the Netherlands was found in the town of her head department.
Mijn office, also the head office of Heijmans, is in Brabant. And there it started in the Netherlands, the coronavirus. And receive communication about we have to work at home.
Femke explained to me that working from home is very different than working from the office.
My alarm goes at 7 o'clock. And in the morning, before I go at work, I try to do some yoga practice. And then the meetings will start, the work I have to do. So all my meetings are via video calls, with Teams. And yeah, I think it's very busy, still very busy. But I like it. My days are going very fast and I like it. So.
However, Femke does admit that it is hard sometimes to stay motivated while working from home. These are some things she does in order to stay motivated.
Contact your colleagues. When you normally ring them, do a video call so you can also see each other. Don't talk only about work. Ask them also, how are you? Can I help you with something like that? Try to have some little breaks to do a little walk outside. That's.
As an employee, Femke follows the instructions of her boss, along with her 4,000 colleagues. How do you deal with the situation as an employer of a smaller business? How do you approach your team? How do you keep your business alive? I spoke to Ruud, who owns a restaurant for over 10 years very successfully, and he explained to me how he's dealing with the situation right now. Driving up to Ruud's restaurant, you can already tell from the outside it is known as a very cozy and warm restaurant. The Hoekzak is a very popular restaurant here for all the locals. On Sunday, March 15th, Ruud had to close his restaurant very suddenly.
Een bijzondere dag, want mijn vrouw werd 40. Dus wij waren in een restaurant aan het eten. Terwijl we in dat restaurant aan het eten waren, kwamen al die berichten naar voren. En ik had contact ook gehad met Hoekzak. En toen zeiden ze van ja, alles is geannuleerd voor vandaag en voor vanmiddag. Dus we hadden eigenlijk al niks meer te doen. Dus toen zijn we vanuit het restaurant daar vandaan hier naartoe gereden. Alle personeel is hier naartoe gekomen om gelijk de boel op te ruimen. Het eten te verwerken. Wat de dingetjes die we nog mee konden nemen voor de familie. En dat hebben we dus zo gedaan.
In the beginning, Ruud was overwhelmed and wanted to take his time brainstorming before making any potential bad decisions.
Maandag daarna, zeg maar, de eerste persconferentie, toen zei ze van dat het tot 6 april ging duren. En toen dachten wij van ja, dat is wel heel erg lang. Dus toen zijn we gelijk gestart met een afhaal- en bezorgservice.
The Hoekzak created a small menu on Facebook to attract the attention of the locals.
Wij staan altijd voor kwaliteit en prijs. Dat moet gewoon kloppen bij ons. Dus ja, maar ook in die afhaal moet dat ook zo zijn.
Ruud sold around 250 Easter menus last weekend. That means his team made 1,000 meals.
Dat loopt lekker.
The Hoekzak is brainstorming for the future, but for now, they try to stay busy with the takeaway meals. That was all the news I had for you today. Hopefully you have a better idea of how things are going in the Netherlands for employers and employees. My name is Rebecca Keijswaard, and back to you, Kristen.
Thanks, Rebecca. Next, we have Morgan Therian updating us on all the latest TikTok trends. Morgan?
Thanks, Kristen. When it comes to being cooped up inside your house to stop the spread of an invisible virus, things become pretty mundane quite quickly. But more time at home does mean more time spent with family. And in a time of uncertainty and fear, families are now taken to the online dance app TikTok to create videos to lighten the mood.
Music make you lose control. Music make you lose control.
However, families are not the only ones participating in the TikTok trends. Doctors and nurses who are out on the front lines have given it a go as well.
Right foot, 2 stumps. Left foot, 2 stumps. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Crisscross. Crisscross. Cha-cha, real smooth.
And finally, some decide to use their time to make others laugh.
Hello from self-quarantine. I'm begging Amazon to please. After sending more soap, can you please figure out how to send a box of my friends to my house? I'm so bored.
Whether you're making TikTok videos or playing tic-tac-toe, be sure to enjoy the extra time we have with those closest to us. We can get through this together. Kristen?
Thanks, Morgan. Well, that's all we have for you today on Global News Inside Edition. I'm your host, Kristen Franz. Stay safe.